Oversight Chair James Comer has just released a bombshell piece of evidence that could be the nail in the coffin for Biden's career.
Mr. Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. Everybody looked at this, and everybody's looked at it and said there's nothing there. Ask the right question. I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period. And what I will do is the same thing we did in our administration. There will be an absolute wall between personal and private and the government.
Do you stand by your statement that you did not discuss any of your son's overseas business dealings with him?
Yes, I stand by that.
A $250,000 wire transfer from China directly to Joe Biden's home address in Delaware while he was running for president. In August 2019, just months after Joe Biden announced his candidacy, the Chinese sent $250,000 electronically to Joe Biden's Wilmington, Delaware address. Hunter Biden received the money in his checking account, and his checking account listed his father's primary residence. And not only did Joe Biden shake the hand of the man who sent his family money, he had coffee with him and spoke to him on the phone. After VP Joe flew his son Hunter on Air Force Two to Beijing, and Hunter flew home on Air Force Two with a bag of money, Vice President Joe Biden wrote letters of recommendation for Jonathan Lee's children to Georgetown and Brown. And the minute Biden announces a presidential run, the same Chinese guy sends the Biden family $250,000 out of the blue to a checking account with Joe Biden's address on it.
The Bidens have put themselves first and Americans last. We will continue to follow the money trail and provide the answers, transparency, and accountability that Americans demand and deserve.
House Republicans will launch their first impeachment inquiry Thursday into President Joe Biden. This is the first public hearing in the impeachment inquiry, but House Republicans are not expected to drop any new bombshell evidence or even have major witnesses to testify at this hearing. The hearing Thursday is what we call a bit of a table setter. It's a chance for the Republicans to show for the American people, for the Congress, for the world at large, what they believe is their evidence as they begin to mount this inquiry into President Biden. At this point, however, House Republicans have really been probing the president's son, Hunter Biden, and his business dealings during the time that President Biden was vice president some years ago. We don't know how long this impeachment inquiry will last. This is the opening hearing, and House Republicans want to begin to lay out their evidence for their colleagues and for the American people. It could be weeks, it could be months, it could drag into next year.